G'day guys, we're going to show you step by step how to set up Email Octopus. I will give you a link down below this video for the website. Just making sure everything's set up here, hopefully nice and loud and clear for you. So there, for a start, just like other websites, you need to come up with your email address, put a username, so come up with a username, and highly recommend to use LastPass generator. It's a very good way to keep all your passwords together. So therefore you've only got to remember your master password. And then you go ahead and from using that, if you decide to use something like LastPass or LastPass, go ahead and generate password. And then we'll put that password in. Sign up. It's going to be at least 6 digits. And then you've got to wait till it comes to your email address. Okay, so now you'll get an email to the email address, obviously, that you chose. And then you'll click on Activate to activate your new Email Octopus account. First, you'll have to go ahead and choose the industry. So you've got affiliate marketing here. You've got a number of different industries. Marketing, if you think you're into that field, or education and training, blogging even. So you've got a number of different areas. And anyway, for this example, we'll just go ahead and do affiliate marketing. But you choose what's appropriate to you. And you can also choose how you heard about them. And so, obviously, if you heard it through me, then by all means, probably put my name. Would be a good suggestion. Not that I am aware that I would get any commission from it, but you never know. So then we'll go ahead and start. Do you have an Amazon account? I have already got an Amazon account, but we'll show you how to set one of those up very soon. But for this example, we'll say yes. But of course, if you have not got to that stage, you say no. Okay, so the next step is we'll start creating Email Octopus users to AWS, which is Amazon Service Account. Head to Add User screen. Enter Email Octopus as the username and check the programmatic access to the access type. If everything is like this in the image down below, click Next for permission. So it's going through that process right now. So what we'll do is I'll click over to Amazon and take you through that step. Okay, guys, so we're on to the next step from the last piece of the puzzle to connect to Email Octopus. And as I said, we'd go over to Amazon and we'll call it short AWS, which links to Amazon EC2 service, Amazon S3, which a lot of us are common and familiar of, which is a cloud platform and also Amazon Dynamo. I'm not familiar with those two platforms, so you might have to do your own research. But Amazon S3 is a way to, basically cloud your data to the web. So if you have not already set up your account, you'd have to go across and create an account. By the way, I'll put a link for this. And you would go ahead, put your email address, create another password. Highly recommend to create another password. Do not use the same password time and time again. That's why I suggest using something like LastPass. And it's considered by many reviews on the web as one of the best master password keepers. But it's entirely up to you. If you're using something similar or the process you're using works for you, then that's good, as long as it's not the same password. And then you would need to come up with an account name, and you can choose your name for your account. You can change this name in your account settings after you sign up. That's what Amazon AWS is saying. Then you would press continue and go ahead from there. But of course, as soon as we've already got an account, I don't need to create another account. We'll go back and we'll log in to our account. And log in with our password. Okay, so now that you've logged in and created an account at AWS Amazon, you need to come up with a name. So you'll see the example from the next step in Email Octopus that it says to come up with an account name, and it can clearly show you what parts to do. But I'm showing you to help guide you a little bit closely through this step. So instead of just looking at screenshot, I'm helping you over your shoulder, so to speak. So take it easy, breathe in and out. If your strength is not technical and whatnot, because we'll get through this and you'll be all set up. So don't worry about things you don't have to worry about on the page. Just look at what we have to focus on, and that is that. So you'll go ahead and enter whatever name that you see fit. That's up to you. For this purpose, we're going to use Crypto Journey. And then it also says to click on Programmatic access. Enables the access to key ID and secret access key for AWS API. You don't have to understand all this information at once. We're here to help you and guide you. As you gain clarity over the years, you'll find that some of these technical language may become more clearer, but for this exercise, just stay focused on the step-by-step process and not so much the language. Just like when we visit another country, that may be even English language, but a different accent, different style of speaking, using different slang words, and we can quite often get bamboozled and feel out of place. And we know how that feels. But if we stay clear and precise, and that we want to embrace another culture and we want to connect, what do? We connect. So this is what we're doing here. Even though this is a technical example, it's the same thing. We want to get there. We want to go through the process to get to the connection so we can enjoy the moment and go further clarity. So now we're at that step. We'll click on next permissions. Okay, so just watch as what I'm doing and you'll be right. Okay, so the next step we want to achieve is to attach existing policy directly in the long list below, and scroll down and check Amazon SES full access. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So you go over to attach, and then we'll go over and look for Amazon Okay, instead of scrolling down and trying to find it, which can take time because there's a lot of different elements here, what you want to do is just type in Amazon SES, and then you'll find it. There'll be only probably 2 there, just like I'm showing you here. Click on that. And then now that you've clicked on there, make sure you've got a tick in there under Amazon SES full access. Okay. And then you'll come down here to next review. Go ahead and click that right now. Okay. So we're now at the review stage. You can see that you've created your username, whatever that may be, and then all the other permissions we've gone ahead and done. Everything should be fine. If you've step by step followed over my shoulders, you will be right. Now go ahead and create user. Success, you have successfully created users shown below. And you can view and download your user security credentials. You can also email user instructions for signing into the AWS Management Console. This is the last time that the credentials will be available for download. However, you may create new credentials at any time. So I would suggest to download that as a guide to you. So go ahead and download that and make sure that you've got that in a safe place, wherever that may be, a safe folder, and make sure that you name that folder. If you're not sure or not familiar with folders and how to keep something safe, let me know and we'll work through that process. But to keep this video short as possible, I will leave that to you to communicate with me to let me know if you're struggling in that area. Okay, the next step on this page is to show the secret access code, because you'll need this information to copy and paste, and we're going to now show you how and where to copy and paste this information. Okay, so the next step, we need to put the access key ID in here and the secret access key. Okay, so let's go back to Amazon, and you want to grab this access key that you've created, access key ID, take that over, go back to the other tab, and you want to copy and paste it into the access key here under Email Octopus of the second step. Go back to the other tab, and you want to go and get the secret access key, which you've unhidden. Because if you go like that, remember, and then you click again, you'll show it. So you go ahead, copy and paste that back into the secret access key area, and now you can go ahead and complete the second step on Email Octopus, the second step operation. So you go ahead, click complete setup, and now it's saying you're ready to go. We hope that you will love the service. So that's it, guys. So we go back. So you've done that. We've set up the service to the Amazon Web Service, AWS for short. And now you need to go ahead and create a list. So we'll go ahead, create a list, and we'll call it, for example's sake, of course, you come up with your own name of whatever that list may be. But we're going to call it My First Crypto List. And you can put whatever you want here. Go ahead, create, and there you've got your first list. You've got obviously you'll have 0 subscribers, and you can go down, and so you go down here, sorry, oh well, it's also up here. You've created, you probably now want to add or import. So you'll either click here to add one manually, and you would do a manual, add someone to the list. Go ahead and you can do it that way. But if you're coming across from another autoresponder email marketing system, or you had an Excel file from another source that you would like to add, I highly recommend to go ahead and import. So like I said, down here you can also go ahead and import and export and do all those sort of functions. But for this stage, you go ahead and press import. But you can do it up here too. So for the focus and for the simplicity, just go ahead and import from here. And then you would drag the file across. or click and copy and paste it into here by opening that file. So it can be a CSV file, DSV file, or it can be a text file. That's what they're saying. And mark the imported contacts as subscribed. I'm not sure if you'd have a case that you would want to have them unsubscribed, maybe, but definitely you want to make sure that that list does know you, or they have opted in some way, even if they're a cold list, that they've opted in, and it's not a scrape list. I wouldn't encourage you to even use a scraped list from anywhere. And so I don't know the purpose of having unsubscribe list. I haven't thought about it more, but maybe if you're scraping a list, but I do not encourage that. So anyway, there you go, guys. That would be your starting point, and hopefully that helps you to get started with that. So we'll just go back. So you've created your first list. So the next department we would need to look at is create and send a campaign. So we'll just go ahead and show you how to set up a campaign. And as you can see, guys, everything is on here on the right hand side, and over time you'll get used to all these areas. It's nice and simple, and everything you fill in here in this middle section would be the fill in, and over here would be the inputting and clicking section. But over time you'll get used to the platform and how it's designed and set up. I believe Email Octopus is nice and friendly, user friendly. Once you get your head around it, that most of the features or functions is over this side, and the inputting of information, data, is in the middle, and then the exporting or importing or inputting the information will be on the right hand side. So once you have those processes down in your mind, the rest of the learning process of the different functions and features of Email Octopus will come to you over time, I believe. But of course, get back to me, ask me. Do not procrastinate. Do not, do not do handstands and try blowing off your socks and whatnot and getting all blasted until you turn blue. Please email me or send me a message. Let's work through the process. If you're having the struggle, I'm sure that someone else in the team is also going to be having the struggle. So don't feel or don't think that you're the only one and I need to try to work it out yourself and go around in a merry-go-round until you turn purple. Please reach out. And so, of course, here, getting back to our last example of setting up a campaign, you would put in a name of that campaign, whatever that be. So we'll call it My First Camp. And then that's just for you, that information, so you can identify the campaign. That's the customer, the client will not see that information in this area. Down here is where your client or your customer or prospect will see the information. And you can use emojis, but let's keep it simple for this time. until you go through the processes, get set up and start sending. So keep your headlines sharp, precise. If you don't have a copy writing mindset, then I suggest looking online, looking at Google, looking at YouTube videos, or either hiring someone on Fiverr, or if you have a large budget, maybe looking at hiring someone to do your copywriting. But there's always ways around it, and we're here as a team to help you and give you suggestions. Of course, we cannot give you dedicated hours and time, and that's why we would say that if you feel that it's right out of your league and you don't want to learn by going to Google and learning about copywriting and learning about subject headlines and learning about all of that process of attraction marketing right away, right now, just keep it simple. Try to do that. You look at YouTube videos if you're more visually inclined, but of course if you're more readable or audible, I'm sure there's even podcasts out there that can get a lot of copyright information from, and how to become a better copywriter. So we would also here, I would tell you right now that, say, you want to, okay, so if you want to start, or it depends where you're addressing the person from, you want to probably, I suggest, their first name, depending on what culture, but I think most people from Western culture at least like to be called their first name, unless the on a professional basis, I would say. Is sometimes a friend or a mate can be a surname, but I'm not sure whether you'd really want to use that. I recommend most times using the first name than an ID or an email, because whenever we do deal with big corporate companies, we really do not like to be seen as a number, but often we're seen as a number. And here, next step is you can put a preview in about what the whole email and the copyright is going to be about. So it would sort of incentivize them to open up one little bit better than just a subject line, and something to want to really entice them to click in. So, that's where copyright skills can really help you to be able to reinforce that. So just for example, we're just going to use that at the moment. And then we'd go ahead, put the name, your name as my suggestion. And over here, guys, I do recommend, even though I've not seen on Email Octopus, I know some other people have said they're seen on Email Octopus, that you should use your own domain name and get one of those set up. Now, if you're not sure how to create your own personal domain name like this, Brian Bolsh at brianbolsh.com, I can give you suggestions about where you can go to purchase a domain name, and also go and purchase the rights to the domain name email, and how to go about that process. There are free processes out there that you can go and get free domain names and things like that. Quite honestly, unless you are really low on budget, I would not encourage that way. because it does take time to set up these things, even though that they are free. And of course, anything that's available free, if that business or that program decides to change, or that business system model decides to change, they can change it on you. And, sometimes they could even close the whole business down, and then you're without that domain name. Obviously, many loyal businesses who have a business model which may offer free domain name may not close you down straight away. They may give you some time, but my suggestion is if you've got the budget, you can budget. A domain name's going to cost you, just off the top of my head, around $12. I use a Colorado-based firm in Colorado, name.com I think they are, and I find that they're very good. I don't like GoDaddy personally. I was with them for years, but I've transferred everything to this name.com. They are a Colorado-based firm, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're in the state of Colorado of the mighty USA. And I find that their system is a lot more friendly. It's a lot pitch friendly. So in other words, they're not trying to market and upsell you on stuff. I found GoDaddy upselled you on stuff, and it really confused you, and you end up buying stuff that you don't really want. Even though that they have cleared up a bit of that over the years, they still seem to do it a little bit to my liking too much. But if you're happy with GoDaddy, go ahead and you could use GoDaddy. So depends on the domain service you go and buy the domain name from, but you can be anywhere between $10 up to maybe 20 odd dollars US per year, and depending on whether it's a .com that you're after, some of the other dots, directories out there are cheaper. But then again, some of the domain name providers have it cheaper for the first year, and then the second year it increases 2 or 3-fold. So it depends on the domain provider, how they do their marketing and how they structure in the costing. And that's what you're going to, that's the bill that you're going to fit. So there are things you got to consider. And then setting up the email domain is pretty effortless, I would say, on name.com. But if you're using GoDaddy or another provider, they might also have a email domain name set up that you can use. That's what I recommend. But look, if you don't want to go ahead and do that, you can take your chances and use a Gmail. I wouldn't use Hotmail or Yahoo. Wouldn't use any of them. But, if you don't want to go ahead through all the process of having your own domain name, you don't even want to go and get a free username name, and your budget is so low, then go ahead, set up a Gmail account and try using that and putting it in here. And then, of course, you would click on your subscriber list, and you would add those to the send, of course. But of course, we don't have any set up here because this is a fresh account. And then you would go here, down here, and there would be, here, and then you would click next. But of course, we cannot click next because we need to add someone to the thing. So for this purpose, I'll just go ahead and create a fake one. No, sorry, I haven't added anyone in the list, but please let me know if you would like me to go further in the step-by-step of going through setting up a campaign, I will do that for you as soon as possible. But hopefully this has helped you, given you some clarity and got over the major technical hurdles. But again, please reach out to me, and don't allow yourself to turn purple or stand on your head and try to blow your socks off. Let's escape those cobwebs, and let's work as a team and work through these processes as painlessly as possible. Because believe me, you will not be the first and you will not be the last to have anything that you cannot understand, because there's many out there. We all start somewhere, and so let's start and let's work as a team and communicate where the pain points are. Thanks, guys. Look forward to connecting with you soon. And please email me or Skype me at Brindle, or you can get me on Facebook Messenger, or many other social media outlets. You can always type my name in Google. I'm pretty much up the top of Google, I think. There may be someone in America with the same name as me, but of course you'll be able to tell that we do look different. We're not twins. Okay, until next time, take care, look after yourself, and hopefully this was helpful.